Hello, I'm Dennis Bright, and I'd like to welcome you to another segment here at Bright Ranch Reining Horses. Today, we're going to talk about lead changes. Just briefly, I'm going to remind you the horse needs to be trained through the body zones. Zone 1 is the head and neck, Zone 2 is the shoulder, Zone 3 is the barrel, Zone 4 is the hip. With lead changes, that horse needs to be soft in the face so we can pick him up, square his shoulders, soften his barrel, and move the hips around. When you're starting your young horses, use a snaffle bit, a noseband, running martingale. If you have problems with elevation, the horse trying to run through your hands when you put your leg on them, at times you may need to use draw reins. If you're not familiar with that equipment, find somebody who can help you with it, and they're useful tools specific to keeping the horse straight and vertically flexed. Today we're riding the Jay's Habit. He's a 6-year-old son of Master Jay, owned by one of our clients, Mary Hoshiko. He's a nice non-pro horse. He's a fairly simple horse to change on, and he's a real pretty nice guy. So what I'm going to begin with is our canter exercise. And the reason why we canter is to create lead change opportunities. And I use a rectangular pattern around the arena. The short side of the arena sets me up for my corners. And when I come into my corners, I'm going to pick my horse up, move his hip around the corner, almost as if this is a turn on the forehand. Haunches will move away, and this will stay stationary. I'm going to ride him two-handed to ensure that I have that horse straight through the body, and I'm going to use my lower leg to move the hip away. Once I'm able to lope the horse, he's in a relaxed cadence. I will push him around the corner. And then on the straightaway, I like to use a system to help with teaching people how to time their lead changes. And I'll use a 1, 2, 3 change. And then the numbers coincide with his feet going to the ground. Horse goes 1, 2, 3, change. And we change on the lift, on the rise, if you will. I really like lead changes. I think lead changes are something that's quite important to the reining horse and the working cow horse and the stock horse patterns. It's something the horse should be able to do because what it demonstrates is how well trained the horse is in this particular maneuver. It's not an easy thing because it's somewhat counterintuitive for the rider who's either self-taught or is trying to learn how to apply the aids. So I'm just going to stand here for a minute and I'm going to explain. When I'm cantering, I want to soften my horse's chin. I would like him to be straight. I'm going to move his hip over, and you can see him step that. If the head comes up, I'll use my left rein, which is the same rein as the leg that's on the horse, to check his chin down. I'll use my inside hand to maintain straightness and to keep that shoulder up, what we would consider the inside shoulder. So shoulders away, hip in. Shoulders away, hip in. Now if you can get a horse to walk around like this, there's a pretty good chance that he's ready to start on his lead changes. Let me lope off here, and I'm going to just go ahead and put him into a canter, and then I'm going to change a couple directions, a couple times both ways. When I'm loping my horse, I'm just trying to keep his chin soft. Right here, I'm going to lift my hands, drawing towards my waist, bringing my leg back. I don't want to scare him with my leg. I just want to make sure that he's moving away from it. You can see he's loping on the right lead, and I'm keeping him straight and collected. Once again, I have to pick that chin up a little bit to the outside, draw with my left hand, and apply calf pressure with my left leg. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to bring him around the corner, and I'm going to ask him to change. And as I lope towards you, I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, change. So that's the change that happens with when you're in time. Now what I'm going to do is drop to a walk, And I'm going to reward my horse. Tell him, good boy. Because he gave me a nice change. He didn't speed up. He stayed soft in my hand. And I'm just going to let him walk on a loose rein. And again, when he does the maneuver correctly, I will just release pressure and let him relax. If he doesn't change, all I would do is I would hold my leg on the side that I want, my cue leg. And if he doesn't change, I just release it and I just keep him on his canter. So now I'm going to change direction. And I'm going to softly pick my hands up. And again, I'm going to canter on the left lead. So we're just going to walk him into his face. And again, what I'm looking for here is I don't want him to lift his head up when I want to lope off. So I'm going to bump his chin down. And then when he stays soft and he moves his hip away from my right leg, I'm going to go ahead and lope. Now, I'm going right into my corner. So that's a pretty good shot right there. Now watch his hip as I square his shoulders up. Move his hip away. Again, I'm looking for cadence. And I would really like to be able just to pick him up and not have any resentment. That was better that time. It was very nice and soft. Collective. Okay, so here we go again. 1, 2, 3, change. And he stays straight. And I'm just going to let him drop to a walk. And he did a really nice job for me. Again, we're going to pet him and reward him. Well, I hope you enjoyed our segment on lead changes here today. I just want to encourage you to keep watching. We have another segment coming up soon. Today, the focus was on lead changes. So if you have any other questions or areas where you'd like some help, give us an email. And we'll be sure to read everything that comes in. If we could help you in any way, we're happy to do so. I'm Dennis Bright. And again, thank you for watching another segment of Bright Ranch Training Horses. Till next time, see you then.